incomparable evangelist, Kendall King, who is our guest here.
That was your song.
Who's our guest here today. Kendall, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, I've been wanting to have you on the show because you have a testimony and a lot's been going on. You're such a wonderful songwriter. You've been a blessing to my ministry and to many others across this country. I was just sharing with you that there were some folks who asked about you last week at the GMWA.
Yes.
Said, where is that Kendall King?
Yes, I miss going. I haven't been able to go for several years,
right.
but my heart was there.
Absolutely. Let's talk about your early beginnings. How did you get started singing and playing?
Well, basically, I was born into this.
Mm-hmm.
My father was a pastor, and I grew up Baptist. My grandfather was a pastor. I have uncles that were pastors. So really, I just, it was inevitable.
You didn't have a choice.
I really didn't have a choice. But I really bless God for that because I really treasure and value my upbringing and the training and just the experience. My family is musical. My mother sings. My grandmother sang. My uncle was a musician. He actually lived in the D.C. area for a long time, and I was actually exposed to a lot of the artists in the DC area, like BLNS. He played for the Deliverance Singers back in the day. So, just all of that just had such a big impact on my life and my musical upbringing.
So I know Daddy pastored, but did he also sing?
No, my father, it's so funny because he wanted to sing so badly, and he would get up and he would try to sing. My brother, I tease my brother because he's the same way. He loves music. They both love music, but he couldn't sing. But because he loved music, he always had an array of music around the house. So that's how I was exposed to all kinds of music. Even though he was strict in terms of things that we could do, but in terms of music, there was never a limit on what we could listen to. So that's why now, my music is very eclectic. R&B, jazz, neo soul, gospel.
We can't be too holy.
Is there such a thing?
Right.
We can't be too holy. Gotta have a little something going on.
Yes.
So you were already in D.C. before you got to Howard.
No, I came to D.C. to go to Howard.
Okay.
So where you from?
I'm from Camden, New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
New Jersey.
Yes, I'm a Jersey girl.
Is that called South Jersey?
It is South Jersey,
Okay.
and it's right
Okay.
across the bridge from Philly.
Right.
So my father's church was, he pastored a church in North Philly, right on 29th and Lehigh.
Okay.
So
I hear your accent coming out now.
Yeah, it is right there, right?
Yeah.
That's what the New
You
Jersey
know what I'm saying?
Oh yes, I am very proud. I don't know about all that.
I want something else going on.
It's on a whole nother level over there. But
You bring it back down. My bad.
It's all good.
yes, but I'm from Camden, New Jersey, and I really relate to Philly too. So, I actually my junior year, I came to DC for a conference. It was a youth conference because I was really into politics, and I really wanted to be a lawyer when I was.
Is
younger.
that right?
I did.
I
Wow.
can see that.
Yeah, everybody says that when I say that, but I loved it. I loved debating, and so I came to DC as a junior. I fell in love with it, and I knew, and they housed us on the campus of Howard. So I knew this is where I wanted to come, and I've been here ever since.
Wow.
Yes.
Howard University, and
Yes.
you joined the choir.
I did. I am a proud member of the Howard Gospel
And
Choir.
who was the director of the choir at that time?
Phileas Paul Gatlin.
Phileas
Yes.
Paul Gallen. Talk about that experience, how it shaped you going forward.
Well, it really, it's hard to explain how much of an impact being part of the Howard Gospel Choir was or is in my life. So I was always real kind of shy. Now I've been doing music. I was a choir director. I played for my father's church since I was 12, and I started singing when I was 3. But I was always very shy. I didn't really like to be, out front. But when I came to Howard and under Paul, just the discipline and learning the history and just being, and the camaraderie. Some of my best friends, to this day, I met when I came to Howard. Some of the best days of my life. And so just the training, and then that was so invaluable, and I'm just really, really grateful that I had that opportunity to be a part of the Howard Gospel Choir.
Wow.
Yes.
Was Butch Bronner the manager? for
Yes,
you?
he was.
God bless
he
him.
was. God bless
his
him. And
memory.
Passed
he
away,
will
right?
he will be missed. And Butch, I loved Butch. He was just he was just he was so unique, you know, and he was just so easygoing, but he handled his business.
Sure he did.
He did. He handled his business.
He was still handling up to a few months ago.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So he will definitely be missed. But I have so many wonderful memories.
That's great. That's
Yes.
great. So you left Howard, and a lot of people don't know in this city that you have ministered and served at a lot of churches.
Yes.
That a lot of people really don't know about. But let's talk about a few of them. You were at Reed for a stint.
I was at Reed Temple for about 16 years.
Isn't that something?
Yes, I actually.
Stint.
Yes.
That's a stint, right?
Yes.
That's a legacy.
What you know, retirement money? Read.
I'm gonna have to go back and see where my
16 years.
Wow.
Yes, but I started on Michigan Avenue. So I started on the small church on Michigan Avenue in 1985. And the year before that, I started at Mount Ephraim Baptist. And I was there probably for about 10 years.
Right.
For a really long time.
And I stepped in the door around that time.
You
Yes.
said 85?
84?
I ain't but 25 myself, so
okay.
I'm
Okay,
85.
sweetie. That just, you know, well, they say black don't cry.
Right.
I don't look my age, but I have
Absolutely, amen.
I have been around and played at so many churches, and I, you know, it's been a blessing because when I think about it, I've been in so many churches over the years, and each one I could always go back. You know, sometimes you know you burn your bridges, but I thank God
Burn that bridge.
that you know I've been AME churches, Baptist churches, Pentecostal churches. I prayed for a long time at Redeemed Church of Christ in Alexandria. So. You know, it's just whatever.
You
I
have
been,
put the work
yes,
in.
Yes.
So you are currently at
Christ Church
yes,
of Light and Salvation.
Pastor Swain, right?
Pastor Richard Swain.
Right,
yes.
Great guy.
He's
great,
wonderful.
Great guy. Great supporter as well.
Yes, he supports the church. They support me, and it's a small church, but you know, it's a small church that does big things, and I can always depend on them. They always have my back, and you know, and it's nice to be somewhere where you love. You know, as church musicians, you know, we don't always get that love, but when you find somewhere that really genuinely loves you and appreciates what you do, then that's a blessing.
That's a blessing. Listen, let's talk about your songwriting career and your singing career, which took off after college. You've written songs for GMWA. Have you written for anybody else?
I've written for you,
Yes,
Phillip and SOV. I've written for Robert E. Person.
The Robert E. Person.
Person. Yes, Bowie State University has recorded some of my music. Hawkins Productions. So Jimmy Russell just recorded one of my songs. It's going to be coming out soon. His live project. So you know, I've had the opportunity to write for several different people, and it's something really, to me, it still amazes me every time, you know, when I write something or when I hear somebody sing it, because I never imagined that I would be a songwriter. I was just a church musician, you know, sit me behind a piano and I, you know, direct the choir, but it's a whole nother level in terms of songwriting and actually in terms of being an artist, a gospel recording artist, because, you know, God would just take you to do whole different things that was really out of my comfort zone. So at first I was a little fearful, and I was, you know, because it wasn't what I was used to. But you know, as time is going on, I thank God for just opening up the doors and taking the fear away. And even when I, you know, a little apprehensive, He says, you know, go ahead and do it, and I do it. So I'm just grateful that God, you know, chose me to do this, because I see it as an opportunity and a privilege to be able to, you know, for God to trust me to be able to do what I do.
Talk about the amount of discipline it takes in order to be able to just to juggle all the balls, to be able to, you know, go from different circumstances, from musician to songwriter to choir director, and how everything kind of comes together.
Well, it really comes together for me. I can honestly say I'm not married. I don't have any children, so my time is my time. I don't really have too much juggling to do, just to be honest. But you do, but it all comes together for me. So it's not really separate for me. It's you know, it's all together. So the songwriting, you know, the church musician, choir directing, singing, to me, it's all part of one thing for me. personally, and I'm also a graphic designer, so all of it comes together for me because even when I'm designing, I'm always thinking of things, how I can help other artist friends of mine and how I can even help my own ministry. So all of it comes together for me. I'm always thinking, always trying to be creative, and it's about trying to be out of the box for me. I don't want to be in a box. I want, God is an out of the box God.
Absolutely.
And so, I like stepping out of the box and trying something different, and let's see what God's gonna do with it. I know it's not me, but that's what I really enjoy.
Okay.
Let's segue to the graphic artists. The graphic arts department, the institution that you are, and how you've rescued so many, like myself, from the pit of doom with the way our CDs are looking. But you have designed some awesome covers and flyers down through the years. Now you are a veteran at this. This was your job for many, many years.
Yes.
Talk about some of the projects that you've had to resurrect, and some of them, and which ones are you most proud of?
I'm proud of all of them, but I am really proud of being able to work with you. And
well, you told me, give me some pictures I can work with. Give me something. I mean, you had to pull some stuff out.
Did you do his first album cover?
Not his first one.
I know.
Not his first one.
I didn't have a picture on that one.
I know.
I was bridging the gap.
I remember
Yes.
that. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No. But really, I think the second one. I think
No, you didn't.
second, third one.
You came on the third.
Third one.
Yeah.
Okay, it was close.
Professional.
Yeah, I met Jesus on the third in the third album.
It's so it's something that I have to tell artists all the time. Your pictures are just, it can make or break
Absolutely.
everything about your project, and a lot of times, even I was talking to a lot of the artists at the IGAA conference, because they don't understand that people aren't even going to listen to your music if the presentation isn't right. If they look at the CD cover, it's like, okay, it's going in the trash. And you could really have good music. It could be good production, but presentation is everything. So having a photo shoot, getting good at not taking photos with your camera. That's fine for social media. That's fine for this is who I am. But when it comes down to when you telling the world, okay, this is who I am and this is my product, I want you to listen to me. I want you to pay attention to me. You got to spend a little money. You don't have to break the bank, but you will have to spend some money.
How can folks reach you?
You can reach me at kendallking.biz, which is my website. I'm also on social media at Kendall King Biz. So those two places.
We got to bring you back because we haven't even talked about the health thing that you have going on and all that.
Yes.
We just so busy talking about this other stuff. But that's part 2 of Kendall King.
Yes.
I want to segue into one of your other songs that I love. This is, I picked your songs based on what I love, not what you wanted.
Okay.
It was what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I was selfish. But we're going to go into one of her songs. And thank you so much for being on the show. We're going to have you come back because we need to talk about what God is now doing in your life.
Yes.
It's part 3 of Kendall King.
For more information on how to become a guest on Real Talk with Phillip Carter, or for general inquiries, please email us at realtalkwithphillipcarter@yahoo.com. Tune in next Monday for another edition of Real Talk with Phillip Carter.